Hello everyone, it's Thursday. Do you know what that means? It's time for the Let's Talk About Robot Training webinar. I'm excited to be here, very excited to talk to you this week because I'm really interested in this topic. And I love it when I get to talk about stuff that I'm interested in. It so rarely happens. Of course, that's not true. But we're going to talk about The Fast and the Furious, but not the movie. We're going to talk about something regarding Fast and Furious. So got a great number of attendees here right on time. As you know, with our Thursday live webinars, we start at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, exactly on time, and we were never late, except for that one time I was 25 seconds late. All right, well, let's get started talking about a little Fast and Furious and see how that applies to our trading. And go ahead and click that. Okay, there, screen will switch. Now, before we get started, though, do you remember a few weeks ago, and if you were here, you know, or you can check out the recordings on the YouTube channel. Do you remember when I told the Aussie robot, and I've been telling the Aussie robot this for a long time. I hate so much the things you choose to be. Why am I talking about this before we get started? Well, here's why. I'm going to minimize this and go back to the question. See this? Winning trade. This is the Aussie day trading robot, and it's nothing anyone should ever think about ever again, as I've said, but there's a winning trade. That's a pseudo-winning trade, meaning it didn't quite cover the spread, allegedly, according to TradeStation's calculations. I think you're wrong, TradeStation, but there's a big winner, another winner, big winner today. I stopped trading this because it's so manic depressive. This currency pair is so wild, but it's also my longest running robot. It's a robot, one of the very first ones I created several years ago. Check this out. I just want to show you this. It's made more money in January than it did all of last year. It's two-thirds of the way to a good year in 2014. And this is one mini lot, right? If we multiply that by 10 for a little bigger account, I mean, the max drawdown on this is, $800. So if you're really crazy and want to trade this on a $2,000 account, obviously, or even less, you could make a reasonable amount of money just trading this. But that's not the point. The point is it's made more in January than it did all of last year. And this currency pair and the robot that trades it continues to confound me and delight me and make me miserable. So just thought I'd share that. But that's not what we're talking about this week. This week we're talking about the need for speed. Top Gun fans out there, I hope you enjoyed that. The one comment, I came out with a course the other day, and I've gotten a lot of comments, all of them very nice and respectful and good and excellent feedback. But one comment I've gotten more than any other comment in the past couple of weeks is, I wish the fair robots would trade more. So they email, I'm waiting on a trade, I'm excited, I'm waiting on a trade. Because it's not trading right now, even though we've talked about, in the course, we talk about 5 different currency pairs that you can trade the robot on. I trade I don't trade that entire portfolio. I trade a segment of that portfolio. I'm going to open up a small account and trade the entire portfolio all by itself. But I can't trade it on my current portfolio because I've got a lot of money tied up in, who cares? The bottom line is I'll be trading this entire portfolio, but I'm only trading a segment. Got it? Good. But everyone is right. Whoever's emailing me is right. They're not trading. Actually, I get that about anyone who's trading my robots. Man, I'd love it if they just traded more. But specifically, I've gotten emails on the fair value robots. All right? They're not criticizing me. They're just wishing. They want trades. Why do they want these trades? Well, obviously, they want to make money, but we'll talk about that in a second. Why do we wish that these robots would trade? Why do we get anxious? Why do we get edgy? Why do we send emails, even if they're nice emails? Why? Well, there are obvious reasons. We want more money, right? In our minds, and we're all included in this, not just you, me too. In our minds, more trading, see how I move the cursor and dance around together? More trading means more money. It's fun to do that. I'm not going to do that anymore. A sip of water is wonderful. We're the victim of the mentality of, have you ever heard this quote? It's an extremely famous quote, and a lot of people throw it around. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Ha! So get started. Carpe diem, right? I am very much into self-improvement and making yourself better. but I don't like cliches, if you're a fan of the Rise and Shine podcast, old school. But I'm not a fan of cliches, and this is a cliche that I specifically am not too fond of. Why? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Well, really? I miss the shot I don't take? For example, if I choose not to pick a quarter out of an open alligator mouth, do I miss that shot? Hey, carpe diem, you got to live now. You got to take a chance. You got to get that quarter. You can never get a quarter if you don't reach inside that alligator's mouth. I know it's a ridiculous example, but you know, do you really mean that cliche? Do you really mean I missed out on that quarter? Do you really mean that we have to go and take all these chances? Do you? The truth is, you miss 100% of the shots that you miss. See what I'm saying? Standing pat is not a darn staff. I'm firing people. Standing pat is not a bad thing. You understand? It's okay to not take shots. I'm just saying, nothing wrong with being picky. For example, standing pat in 2008. Do you remember 2008? I will never forget. I was a fledgling trader. I'd been a trader for a couple years, but I had never seen anything like that, nor may we ever see that again. But there are so many people, Warren Buffett included, famous people who lost 40, 50% that year. Standing pat in 2008, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Well, if you were in the market, you lost 50% most likely, right? Well, if I didn't take that shot, I didn't miss 100% of the shots I don't take, right? If you would have stood pat in 2008, you would have been one of the best traders in the world. It would have had a listing of the top 40 traders, and you would have been a top at 0, and 39 people would have been negative. And obviously I'm exaggerating, but you get my point. Not taking shots is extraordinarily important when it comes to trading, when it comes to life, right? You don't ask every boy or every girl out, right? You can be a little bit picky. You don't buy every car that you see, and so on and so forth. So I wish sometimes, and I have wished in the past, that things would trade more, right? If you're not in the market, you can't make money. If you're not in the market, you can't make money. But think about that for a second. Is it really a bad thing to stand pat? But still, people want trades, right? Maybe you get my point. You get it, right? Standing pat's okay, but that doesn't change the fact that when the webinar ends and you go back to your trading life, you're going to want that thing to trade, right? People want trades, me included. Okay. So what's another reason why we're like this? Well, another reason is if we get trades, if you're trading a robot, you know the robot's not broken, right? Do you remember that old when you're waiting for that special someone to call and you only had landlines and the phone's not ringing, so you pick it up just to make sure it's working, right? She might have called me, but the phone was broken, right? That's a personal example. I've actually done that back in my younger days, so I'm not making fun of anyone. I did it. But anyway, I think people email me, and I've gotten a lot of emails on this, especially from members who say, did you get any trades? Did you get any trades? All right, the robots aren't broken, right? And in some cases, that's legitimate, right? You're working on an adjustment in your robots, and you need to see a trade to make sure it works. But I understand this has a legitimate reason, but that's not really a great reason to want trades, right? In the long run, assuming everything's fine, that's not really a good reason just to prove they're not broken. I mean, we trade to make money. So I totally get that. And you can email me anytime you want. You want to confirm your trades with mine. That's absolutely fine. But obviously, this is not a reason, right? We want to trade. We want to get trades to make money. So another reason for wanting these trades is we want action. That's not a good thing, right? Are you with me on this? Great books plural. Cal Newport has written, so he's a little bit academic, so it's a little bit dry and crusty, but I absolutely love his books. He's done deep work, and it's so good you can't ignore you. Love both of them. But he, pretty accomplished writer, doesn't believe in email, doesn't believe in Twitter, and so on and so forth, tells us that being bored is monumentally important to our development as human beings. We all are so scared of being bored. We can't even stand in line at Starbucks or the bank or anywhere without getting to our phones, right? I don't do this, obviously, because I believe in trying to get bored. I'm never, ever bored, and I'm never, ever on my phone. But that's just because I'm weird. But when I stand in line, when I'm in line somewhere, not on my phone, I love looking around into the land of the zombies, right? There's no one else. I'm trying to make eye contact with 40 people in the place. There's nobody looking at me. I do this all the time. Am I strange? Please don't think I'm strange. But I'm always looking around, and people are just so afraid of being bored. And that's a problem because you don't want to take trades just for action, right? We want to be good traders, not active traders necessarily. How many studies do we need to read saying active traders do much more poorly than people who just buy and hold or picky, right? I don't believe in buy and hold at all, but buy and hold beats mindless active activity. Plus, one of the great skills that we all need is to be able to think deeply. And we are practicing not thinking deeply all the time, and it's only getting more and more and more distracting out there. So I'm just telling you, here's your little life lesson and my little sermonizing for you. Be okay with no trades. Be okay being bored. Magical stuff happens when you don't need to trade and you don't need to be on your phone. The richness of life increases tenfold. But that's just a little tip for you. Are there advantages in not trading besides the psychological developmental reasons? Yes, of course there are. By waiting for specific circumstances, not just trading any old thing, we increase our chances of getting repeating winning trades. We can have repeatable success if we don't trade all the time everywhere. See what I'm saying? If we only trade from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time every day, we're getting the exact same traders every single day, or we're getting the exact same algorithms every single day, right? We're getting the same people. So if we only trade that specific time and trade the patterns that we've tested at that specific time, we got a chance to repeat and repeat and repeat. Stuff happens over and over again. But trading at 3 a.m. Eastern time and trading at 10 p.m. Eastern time, those aren't the same traders, same algorithms, same patterns at all. It's not even close. So by trading all the time, we're bringing all these variables into play. By being picky, we can be more repeatable. Do you see what I'm saying? Some football teams, the successful ones, have been known to run the same play or something that's very, very similar over and over again. In tennis, if you're watching your tennis, serving patterns, return patterns, spin patterns, they repeat over and over again and they work. Bottom line is, if you're picky, you can have repeatable success. Now, taking that one step further, we've been talking a lot about 100% style trading, meaning no stop losses, trying to win every trade or every series of trades, right? You'd win every trade if you only traded once. You'd win every series of trades if you keep adding when you get into trouble, right? You with me? So we've been talking a lot about 100% style trading, but keep in mind, the more you trade with this style, the more you invite drawdown. Do you see the tapestry I'm weaving? If you're in a trade, here come the 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. Asian traders, right? And then here come the London traders. Then here come the New York traders. Then here comes the Aussie section later in the day, right? You've got all these different methodologies, all these different institutions, all these different people, all of them, and if are coming at you with different ideas. And if you're in a trade all day long, you're going to ride the waves or the bumps and the bruises of all those different trading styles coming at you. Makes sense, right? The longer you're in a trade, the more variables you're exposed to, and that means things can happen. So do you understand the advantages of not trading? Have I bludgeoned you with it enough so far? Okay. Well, now that we've said all that, we can't get around the fact that the more we trade, the more we can potentially make, right? Even though I've made an airtight case. My case is airtight. It still comes down to, if we trade more, we make more, right? Assuming we're successful, of course. And make no mistake, it is very, very nice to rack up $1,000 a day. When I was trading 100% style system back in 2010, talked about it before, my trading partner and I were making $1,000 a day, like clockwork, every day. $100, not $100, $1,000, $1,200, $600, $1,500, $2,200, every day. Every day we're in the market. Boom, 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 boom for 3 months straight. Boom, boom, boom. Right? That was awesome. let's not mince words, people. There was nothing like that. I'll never forget the emotion of that day. Here was our day. We'd get up, we'd look at the charts. Jill, my trading partner, would get up a little before me, about 6 a.m. or whatever. She'd get to the charts. I was setting up trades. I'd wander in there 7, 7:15, 7:30, whatever, somewhere around there, always before 8. We'd look at the trades. Sometimes she'd already be in one, but we'd look at the trades, decide what we're going to trade, get in, right, in a system extraordinarily similar to the fair value system of the course, right? It's nearly identical. And we'd get in, take a trade, and then I'd go off to work. I worked full-time tennis back then. And I'd go off to work, and I'd be on the court, and 2 hours later, I'd get a text message. I made $1,200. And that was every day. And it was awesome, right? So that all being said, even though I've argued against that very methodology, let's stop arguing and let's just roll with it, right? Instead of being patient, let's look at what a 100% style robot can do if we totally unleash it, okay? Fast and furious, okay? What if we stopped listening to my sermons and my sanctimonious ranting, and we stopped being so scared and just started trading, right? Let's just go. Let's go. Just go, man. Just go. Dumb and Dumber. We know 100% style systems work. So let's just get in there. Let's get in the market. Okay. So this week, I did a little testing for you and for me too. I ran a test on a 100% style robot that barely needed a reason to get in the market. I didn't want to be picky. I just wanted the easiest, most boring, most active reason I could think of getting in the market. And so I picked a stochastics indicator, and I told it, I code just simple code because I can kind of code in TradeStation. I can at MT4. And I just told it to take trades, and the indicator went extreme. And I use quotes because we're just talking about just go into overbought or oversold. Just go. If it gets there, I'm in. I just wanted to be in all the time. And how did it turn out, you ask? I don't know if you asked. It was impressive, exclamation mark. Look at all the action. Look at this. This is that robot I created. Look at this. This is on the New Zealand dollar 15-minute chart. You can see that here. Look at this. Every day, boom, boom, trades. I'm in. These are demo trades. I'm in a whole bunch of trades right now, and look, it's starting to come back. I'm going to be out of that trade soon. Look, let's go back. Boom, 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 right? Little drawdown there. Boom, 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 right? Action. All right. So let's compare, all right? How much action, all right? Let's make a little comparison. The New Zealand dollar fair value robot that I talk about in the course, which is very, very picky, takes about 400 trades since 2005. Not that many. Picky, right? And the profit, trading one mini lot, this is just all hypothetical data that I set up, it's all in the course, 400 trades, and the profit is about $2,200 after that time, right? From 2005 to 2017. If you the MT4 testing goes back a little farther, so in the course this number is a little bit higher. But this is just since 2005 to now, okay? 400 trades, $2,200. The crazy stochastic robot, right there, takes 4,694 trades. Are you freaking kidding me? Look at that. 400 trades, almost 4,700 trades, right? You say you want action, that's action, right? It trades every day, right? To put it succinctly, it trades every day. This is more than once a day, probably, right? In 24 hours, it finishes this trade, takes this one, and then takes another one, right? So I said every day, it's probably more than that, right? If you did the math, how many days divided by 4,694 and so on. Now, what was the profit with those 4,694 trades? What was the profit? Again, this is the same trade size. So 400 trades here, 4,600 here, one mini lot for both. What's the profit? $21,550. 2,200. 21,000, 2,200. 400 trades, right? So here you go, right? You were justified, right? right? You're justified. If you want action, I have been holding out on you. I have ruined your life. I have abused you by trying to get you to stop trading so much, or at least making those arguments. And I probably need to give you an apology. But there's a question that you should be asking, and I had to write it on the slide. I was going to take a poll and see if everyone knew what question they should be asking. What about the drawdown, right? We know it's 21,000. What was that drawdown? Okay. The drawdown for the New Zealand fair value robot is about 860. So if you divide 2,200, the profit you made, divided by the worst possible, remember, max drawdown is possibly a one-time thing, but it's the worst it ever did. If you divide profit by this max drawdown, not typical drawdown, but max drawdown, you get a 2.5 to 1 ratio. What is a good ratio, profit to max drawdown? 2 to 1, right? 2 to 1 is where we start. If the higher it gets, the more fun it is to trade. Okay, that's my experience. The drawdown for that stochastic robot was $12,400. So let's do our math. 21 divided by that is 1.73, 2.5. So when you compare it in a profit to drawdown, you can see, yes, it made way more money. The drawdown was way, 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 way higher also. Oh, but that's not all. There's more. Because this robot gets into so many trades and opens itself up to so many things, which we've already talked about, it is in, now it trades every day, but it's in one series of trades for almost 15 months. From July 2008 to October 2009, it is in one series of trade, meaning just like this at the end, see this, what we're in currently right now, this is a demo account. It got into this, and then you didn't trade anymore for 15 months, right? One day you're just la, 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 la. Oh, look, I'm in 5 trades. I can't wait to see that work out. 15 months later, it did work out for profit, okay? It did. But you wouldn't have done anything in that account for 15 months. Why? Because you got into a bunch of trades and then a big market change happened and you got stuck. You meaning us, okay? So here's something to think about. What would you do in that time, right? You're a trader. You're trading for a living. For years, right, from 2005 to 2008, you made money every day. Boom, 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 right? Don't believe me? Right, check out this equity curve. I love showing these equity curves. You get up, boom, make it. Boom, make it. Profit, 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 profit. Every single day, Monday through Friday. We never quit. Look at that. Look at that equity curve. You can't even see the drawdowns. Look at that, right? Every single day. But from July to 2009, you nothing. If this is the only thing you traded, nothing. What would you do? How would you handle it? Would you take more trades? I mean, you're already in 5 at this point, right? You're going to take a 6th? Well, how would you do that? Advanced techniques that help you get out of trouble? Do you know advanced get out of trouble techniques? I mean, I have some in my pocket, but do you have yours, right? Think about it. If you decide to take more trades, either systematically, just, okay, I'll just take it on any sort of stochastic break, or an advanced get out of trouble technique, if you take more trades, you do realize that could increase the drawdown. What if you get impatient, take a trade, and it goes against you again? Well, now you've compounded the problem, right? I mean, it might get you out of the problem, but it might compound the problem too, right? What would you do for over a year? This is, and I don't have the answer. I'm giving you possible solutions, but that's the answer that you would have to have. If you want action, you have to have an answer for this question, right? Now, compare that with the New Zealand dollar fair value robot. Its longest series of trades is in less than a month. It's like 3 weeks. The worst you ever had to wait was 3 weeks, right? And again, that makes sense. Why? Because one of them is picky and one of them isn't. So what are some solutions? Well, you could trade a lot of currency pairs in this crazy system, right? You could trade 15 pairs, 10 pairs, 8 pairs, whatever. And then you could make money while you're in that 15-month drawdown. So if you're not just trading one, if you're trading 10 or 15, there's a chance that those others could be making money every day, boom, 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 and helping you pay for that loss. There's a chance of that. I tested one other robot in this manner, and guess what? It did exactly that. it was making money while the other was in a drawdown. Now I only did two. I think I did the dollar yen. Anyway, I forget. Maybe I did euro Aussie. It doesn't matter. But that's a possibility. You could do more currency pairs and make money. And that would work great unless, do you see what the problem is? What if another currency pair does the same thing? What if the New Zealand dollar and you took a trade on the euro dollar, let's say, and that did the exact same thing? Well, now you've doubled your drawdown. That's not good. Eventually, if you traded too high of a trade size, you could run out of margin and bye-bye account, right? So yes, it would be great. You could just add more currency pairs, but you do see the problem. If you're adding more currency pairs, you've got to make sure that they all don't go at the same time into the same bad drawdown. You see where the problem is there? Or you could not do that and just study the bad trades. You could study that 15-month period and come up with a really good get-out-of-trouble discretionary trading emergency plan, right? The robot's not only, the robot here that I showed is just basic. It's not going to figure out a complex solution for you. So you could trade this, and if you get into a bad situation, you have already planned your discretionary trading emergency plan, right? I know someone who's the best get-out-of-trouble trader on earth. His name rhymes with Rob Booker, right? So that is no problem for someone like that. But are you someone who has a get-out-of-trouble trading emergency plan? If so, maybe that 15th-month period is not too bad, right? Or you could just wait it out and just take a 15th-month vacation and then get back to work. I don't know if that's possible, but you could, because it did come back and it was profitable after 15 months. But that would be tough to go to the computer every day for 15 months with no hope in sight. Like you have no reason to believe that this is ever going to come back, right? It does, but you don't really have a good reason. I'm not going to lie to you. That's tough. Bottom line is, guess what? There are a lot of ways to trade. But if you want action, you better have thought it through, because more action means more variables, which means you have to have an emergency plan. But you have to do what you like. How many times have we said it? If you like action, then you need to try to develop a robot that trades enough for you. Or you could learn to calm down and trade something that doesn't trade that much. But again, your success comes down to what you like. So I hope that's very helpful for you. I'll take a look at the questions and we'll finish up with the updates. Oh, dang it. I scrolled up. Stupid questions. All right, let's scroll down. Let's see. Someone said I'm obsessed with Federer. Oh, yes, I am. Oh, Ulrich says, my wife is a fan of Federer and watched his last victorious game. I am in the process of watching his match against Stan Wawrinka myself. I've watched the end and now I'm watching it. I like to watch the replays. Does that make me, I think everyone's going to think I'm weird because I love to watch replays of Federer for fun, right? When I get all my work done, then I sit down on the couch and I watch Federer match replays. I'm crazy. Can you discuss how many trades the fair value portfolio has taken in the last 2 months? Well, Doug O, you could run an MT4 test and you would know for yourself, right? Absolutely you could. And I'm not scolding you. I'm just saying, because the answer is I don't know. I could look on my charts and count them up. But the fair value looks for very extreme circumstances and it's only trading one direction. Honestly, Doug, I don't know. I have so much data on it that I can't think of how many trades. But keep in mind that it does trade in bunches. It does go periods of time, and then all of a sudden it gets active. So that's a terrible answer, Doug O. Sorry about that. I changed the standard deviation to 2.5 to see if it made no trades yet. Yeah, you want it. If you really want trades, trade. Well, it better be a demo account. I am not authorizing any change of settings. But if you trade it, turn your standard deviations down to 1, you'll get trades. But I'm not recommending that to anyone. Joel Sanders says, Gretzky. I've been day trading YM and NQ, can tell you that more trading does not mean more money. On the contrary. Interesting. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. That's appropriate for what we're talking about today. I missed my arm after I reached into that alligator mouth, says Terry. Terry, I've told you not to reach into alligator mouths. How many times? Fast and Furious 8, Ron says. Demo, yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Trust me. You crank it down to 1.0 if you're in demo. That'll be some good times. All right, let's wrap it up. There's no Thursday webinar next week. I am very sorry. I've had the most ridiculous journey to finding a house to live in. But the bottom line is I'm traveling to South Carolina and then finally down to Florida, where I'm going to stay permanently for a while. And I won't have any internet because it's not getting turned on until Thursday afternoon. I'm hoping I have power. So that is exactly the time. We'll be moving in and moving couches and so forth and setting up at exactly the time as our Thursday webinar. I've already made the adjustment on our GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar, so there is no Thursday webinar next week. I'm very sorry. I really do try to plan my life around not missing, and I can't figure it out for next week. Fair value course is launched, blah, blah, blah. Working on stocks and futures. I've already begun that. I'll be talking more about that. Links to all my courses are below this video if you're watching the recording. Wes still not done with the trend following variation. I texted him today. I'm hoping that'll be done. The big news, it's different, is I'm in the process of making a website and taking everything that I do and put it into one place. I've never made a website before. It's been awesome learning it. But that will give a one-stop shop for the ebooks that I'm writing, because I'm in the middle of an ebook that I'm extraordinarily excited about. My robots, everything, courses, put it all in one place. So I'm hoping that'll be up in a few weeks, and that would be a cool thing. And then YouTube, I think we're up over 570, getting close to 600. If you want the recordings, it's always on YouTube. If you're watching on the recording, there's the contact information. That's all for this week. Nothing next week. There will be a blog post, though, on Wednesday. Blog post on Wednesday. No webinar, but we'll be back the following Thursday and hopefully several Thursdays after that. No crazy interruptions. All right, everyone. It's great being here. That was exciting. I enjoyed that. I hope you did too. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.